everyone, it's Kate Byers. We are here for day 4 of our 7-day broadcast event where we're talking about the common myths that a lot of us successful, high-performing women believe that lead us to burnout, or just get to a point in success and you're like, wait a minute. I thought this was supposed to be fun. I thought this was supposed to be fulfilling. I thought I was supposed to be able to relax, and this feels horrible. This feels exhausting. This feels not so great after all. When does it start to get good, right? So if you are someone who has ever felt that, where you've gotten to a point in your life, not just your career, where you're like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be fun. You know, this is what the good life was supposed to be about. And it doesn't feel that way. Just put like a 1 in the comments. Come on, girls. Like, we need to share, because we're not the only ones sitting here all by ourselves in our house going, what is wrong with me? So the myth that I want to talk about today is really, you know, the movie Waiting to Exhale. I call it Waiting to Breathe. I don't know how many of you rush through every day waiting to breathe. And for me, the first 15 years of my career, like all through high school, then all through college, and then about the first 12 to 15 years of my career, I felt like I was waiting to breathe. Like, oh my gosh, when do I get to breathe? And every now and then you did. Like every now and then there'd be like a holiday or a vacation or a fabulous weekend. And you're like, yay, this is what life is supposed to feel like. But it was just in those little moments, which we'll talk about tomorrow. But there's this whole thing that happens to highly successful women, or women who are, ambitious, high achievers, that I call waiting to breathe, where throughout your life, you have received these messages that says, you're supposed to do A before you can get B. Now, it probably started out in childhood, like very simple, like, hey, you need to eat your vegetables and then you can have your cookie, or drink your milk and then you can have a soda pop or whatever, right? And do people still say soda pop? They do. I know they do. And so what that did, though, for someone who's a high achiever, we hear everything from A to Z. We don't go from A to B. We're like A to Z. Oh, well, if I have to eat my vegetables first, then I also need to do the dishes, and I also need to sweep the floor, and I also need to make sure my hair's perfect, and I also need to make sure my room's clean, and then I can have my cookie. So we take everything to these wild, wild, wild extremes because it's part of our DNA. Now, what's great about taking things to extremes is that is also what has built you to be quite successful very quickly. Where maybe, let's just say the normal trajectory for someone to become at your level is 20 years or, 5 years, you probably did it in half that time. Okay. Because you're very driven. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to go, 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 go. And then we're going to get the reward. The problem with that, though, is what? You're always chasing the reward. Because as soon as we get to one place, and you guys have seen this before, right? Like, you change companies. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so much better at the new company. And you get to the new company and, okay, it'll just be so much better in 6 months when I'm comfortable at the new company. 6 months later, and well, it'll be better when my boss and I have a better relationship in another 3 to 6 months. And it'll be better when my team is up to speed. I mean, I've got some junior people on my team and maybe a couple people that, aren't really strong. As soon as everybody, and then before you know it, it's like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road. And that new company that was supposed to be so amazing and give you all this free time and fulfillment escapes you. Okay. Waiting to breathe. Or we do it on just a daily basis. I want you guys to put in the comments right now, how many of you have something that you truly want to do today that is now backburnered? And it can be simple. It could be like, you know what? I told my kids I was going to take them to the duck pond to feed the duck crumbs, tonight. And looks like I'm going to have to cancel because there's no way I'm going to be able to get out of that 5 o'clock meeting. Or whatever, I promised my husband I'd grab some, or my spouse, whatever, I'd grab some food on the way home, and looks like he's going to have to grab it because there's no way I can get it done. And I want you to think about what you're putting off today. Maybe you said you're going to do a workout today, and now that workout is like, well, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Put it in the comments. And you guys watch how many people in the comments, it's so similar. Like, everybody's facing the same thing. We're creating these lives of intention without follow through. Now, you guys know good and well that if it's your career, that intention becomes a reality, right? If you tell your leadership team you are going to get the such and such project done by Friday, yumble, it's going to be done on Friday, right? If you tell your team members, hey, you know what, I'm going to get you that feedback by today at lunch, it'll be there today at lunch. Excuse me. So in our work life, do you notice that? Boy, you don't miss those deadlines. You don't miss those priorities. Those things don't go on the back burner. But the rest of your life is on the back burner because you're waiting to breathe. Because work is something as a kid you were praised for. Oh, look at you got an A+. Oh, look at you made your bed. Oh, look at you ate all your vegetables. Good girl, good girl, good girl. Good girl. And then what happens is now you're like in your 40s or 30s or 60s or whatever it is. And it's like, good girl, good girl, good girl. We're still getting pats on the head. And it's a part of esteem, right? And we'll talk about that in this 7-day series too. So what's happening is we're waiting for life to happen. And then you get to that magical place of whatever it is, the weekend or the night off or the babysitter comes or the project is finished. And you might get one little gleaming moment of life in there before you're off to the races again. And I call it holding your breath. And that's what it felt like to me. I'm like, and I would do this all day long. And then I'd go home and I'd do this all night long. And then I'd get up the next day and do it all long. And then all weekend. And then, and then I always felt behind. I always felt underwater. I always felt like it was never good enough. I felt behind in my work. And then maybe I would be better at home. And then I felt behind at home. And then I was doing pretty good at work. Do you know what I mean? And so we're just living these lives of really misery where none of it ever feels good. We never reach that spot where it just feels comfortable. And that spot is available to all of us. It is in you. It's learning how to break out of that pattern of where you're always holding your breath and say, wait a minute, I have this day. What do I really need to do today to live my life to the fullest? And you always hear this, right? You always hear where people say like, oh, well, live each day like you're dying, which always sounds great. And you do it for a day and then you're like, and then that goes out the window. Because can you really live each day like you're dying? Yeah, you can. You really can. Maybe not like you're dying. That sounds a bit morbid. But you can really live a great life each day where you're not feeling guilty. You're not feeling, overly anxious. You're not feeling burnout. You're not feeling exhausted. You're like, this was a good day. Was it the best day ever? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. But did I get to do the things that really matter? That mattered in my career, that mattered in my love life, that mattered with my health, that mattered with, the woman I want to be in my community or whatever. Yeah, you really can. And for our clients, that's what they're experiencing. Are they always working 40 hours a week? Nope. Some of them are working 70 hours a week. Did they step away from some man-eating, chaotic culture into some fluffy, nice, girly culture? Nope. Did they move from, one high intensity, really stressful position to some really like softball position where they could pretty much do it with their eyes closed? Nope. Do you know what I mean? Like they're still in really, really difficult careers, high profile careers, or just high stress careers. Not everyone's high profile, but just, a very demanding career, a career with a lot of deadlines, a career in a chaotic environment where there's not enough resources to go around, where you don't have enough people on your team, blah, 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 blah. Like all that stuff always happens. But they're enjoying their life. They're enjoying the ride. And I think I've said this before, like years ago, I was at a leadership development program. It was like a week-long program. And one of the executive mentors there, she pulled me aside. They were giving us feedback or whatever. She's like, you need to learn how to like smell the flowers, was basically the message, or smell the roses. And I was like, what are you talking about? We don't have time to smell no damn roses. We got work to do, woman. I got stuff to do. And it was just completely lost on me. I was like, what are the roses? What roses are you talking about? Like that is how deep this goes into our habits and behaviors and our DNA. For a lot of us, we don't even know what to do if we're not working, right? Let alone to get our needs met each day and stop holding your breath to live. So the myth that you have to bust out of, there's this myth is that I have to do X in order to be the good girl and get Y. And this does not plague men as much as it does women. How many guys do you know who are like, boy, I better go talk to my wife before I hit the golf course today at lunch or whatever, and again, it's very stereotypical. And I'm not trying to paint guys out to be, horsey patooties because we love men. But my point being is that men are much more comfortable just getting their needs met and just saying, here's what I need to do today. Or how many times do you ask a guy in your circle, whether it's, a husband, spouse, brother, coworker, whatever, hey, can you do this for me? Nope. I got to go, the game's on tonight or whatever. And you're like, wow, that's really a priority for you. And it is, but we don't do that, right? Because we're giving and giving and giving and doing and doing and doing and holding our breath. And then when everything is done, we can finally enjoy our life. Guys, you got to stop doing that. right? So I want everybody to go home today or unplug from your, 15 hours of Vimeo, or what do you call it? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Vimeo or whatever. No, not Vimeo. What is the software? Zoom calls. Good Lord. That we're all on right now. And just go take a break and go do something for yourself. If you didn't get your hour working out today, do 15 minutes of stretches on the floor. If you didn't get to have breakfast with your kids, go grab them right now and read them a story, or just sit on their bed and ask them what they're doing if they're teens and chit chat with them for 15 minutes. And if they don't want to talk to you, just sit on their bed anyways and be in their space. Go do something that matters right now. Whenever you hear this broadcast, whether it's live or whether it's weeks from when we did it, okay? And just leave some comments and share. What did you go do? I want to know, okay? And if you're a driven, high-achieving woman, and you're suffering in your success, that does not have to happen. You can learn to operate differently, not drop the ball, not damage your reputation, continue to earn well, and actually start enjoying your life each and every day. And if that's you, I want you to watch some of our free trainings, see if what we do applies to you, and then book a call with us. Our team is here for you. We can help you figure out what's going on. If we can help you, awesome. If not, then we'll get you to someone else who can. Cool? All right. Bye, guys. It's been great chatting today.